Well, he deserves
Whatever he gets.
whatever comes with it.
He's looked like he walked off the set of Alien versus Predator, bro. Which, like, it's like he's wearing a natural, like, is this the alien mask or the Predator mask? I can't tell. I ain't gonna cap with you. Like, this was a video that, you know, made me say, yo, I think y'all owe that girl an apology. If she gotta wake up to that face every day.
What if I told you a 22-year-old NFL rookie just dropped $4.5 million on the same woman who once called him ugly and ignored his DMs? Travis Hunter's so-called love story might actually be the wildest gold digger play the sports world has ever seen, and now the receipts are out in the open. Let's get into it. The $4.5 million bombshell. Pro athletes making reckless money moves isn't new, but this one takes the cake. We've seen dudes blow fortunes on cars, jewelry, and bad business deals, but rarely do we see such a detailed, play-by-play setup, like the one swirling around NFL rookie star Travis Hunter, and the woman many online are calling a straight-up gold digger, his wife, Leanna Linnett. Hunter, the Jacksonville Jaguars' flashy new wide receiver cornerback and 2024 Heisman winner, just inked a monster 4-year, $46.6 million deal, $30,500,000 guaranteed. And yet, the whole internet is buzzing because the phrase, "he gave millions to a gold digger," didn't just pop up from nowhere.
Super excited, you know, I get to go back home, but also, you know, somewhere I wanted to play, and I'm so excited that they picked me.
The Jacksonville Jaguars just traded up to get your services to their team. What conversations have you had with them with how you are going to be used in the NFL?
The crazy part is I had no conversations with them outside of the combine, so I didn't know what to expect.
Fans have been pointing out Linnett's suspicious behavior patterns for months, and now it looks like the puzzle pieces are fitting together a little too well. Here's where it gets insane. Travis didn't sign a prenup. None. Zero. Despite securing a life-changing contract, he walked straight into marriage unprotected, and in Florida of all places. That's a state where divorce could legally chop his entire bag in half. Imagine losing nearly $23 million just because you trusted the wrong person. That's not a small mistake. That's career-altering. And the legal world noticed. Divorce lawyers everywhere are shaking their heads like, how could he let this happen?
You ain't never had no girl, so why y'all talking about me? Find something else to talk about. You talk about my girl. Go talk about your girl. Go find a girl. Go find a life. Stop worrying about what I got going on. I know what I got. I know my girl. My girl been with me for 5 years. Y'all are just not starting to talk about me and just not starting to be with me. Like, come on, man. Y'all go do something else with y'all life. Clickbait pages, y'all better stop. I'm telling y'all. Y'all, if something bad gonna happen to y'all, y'all keep doing that. Y'all better stop that. I ain't playing, y'all better stop. Y'all hate on me and then y'all go and hate on my girl. Like, bro, I feel the same pain that she feel. We're inseparable, bro. We with each other. Like, she hurting, of course I'm gonna be hurting. If I'm hurting, of course she gonna be hurting.
Celebrity attorney James Sexton even stepped in and made headlines after Hunter's story broke. He was so stunned that he publicly offered free prenups to the entire 2025 NFL draft class. All because he didn't want another rookie falling into the same trap as Hunter. That's how big of a warning sign this situation has become. But don't think the lack of a prenup is the only problem. That's just the surface. The real twist is the long, flashy trail of gifts Travis has been showering Leanna with, each more expensive than the last. And when you line up the history of her comments about him before they got together with the millions he's now dropping at her feet, let's just say, this isn't looking like a fairy tale romance anymore. It's looking like a setup. The paper trail on this relationship doesn't look like love. It looks like a luxury shopping spree gone wild. We're not talking about cute little flowers or some surprise date night. This is a straight-up systematic transfer of wealth that's already stacked up to more than $4.5 million in cold hard value. And once you see this list, you'll understand why people are calling it one of the most expensive romances in NFL history. It all kicked off with the engagement ring in February 2024, a rock worth $100,000. That alone would be a lifetime flex for most couples. But for Travis, it was just the opening play. From there, the gift-giving snowballed into something that looked less like romance and more like financial freefall. The wedding reception turned into a spectacle the internet will never forget. In front of all their guests, Travis pulled the cover off a brand new Mercedes-Benz AMG G63 Brabus 800, a beast of a ride worth around $611,000. Just think about that. One single gift worth more than most people will earn in their entire career. That video went viral instantly, with millions of viewers torn between calling it romantic and shaking their heads at what looked like financial recklessness. But the Benz wasn't even close to the end. Travis kept stacking the gifts. He copped Leanna a Tesla Model X, her so-called dream car, dropping another $100,000. The emotional unboxing video of her crying as the bow came off lit up social media, though plenty of critics weren't buying it, calling the tears performative instead of heartfelt. And then came the biggest jaw-dropper yet, a custom luxury truck worth $500,000. By this point, it was crystal clear that his spending wasn't slowing down. It was accelerating like a runaway train. Add in the mountain of jewelry, designer bags, and other luxury extras conservatively valued at $600,000 plus, and suddenly, the total hit that jaw-dropping $4.5 million mark. The biggest money move of all, the couple's flashy joint purchase of a $3.275 million mansion inside Jacksonville's ultra-exclusive Deerwood Country Club. We're talking 13 rooms, over 8,000 square feet, a pool, a private tennis court, and it all sits on 7.5 acres of gated luxury. On paper, it's a shared purchase. But here's the kicker. Most of the cash came straight out of Travis Hunter's massive signing bonus, while Leanna was the one handling all the transaction details. That setup alone has fans raising their eyebrows big time. And here's where it gets messy. In a divorce, even this dream mansion could instantly turn into a battlefield. Every single gift Travis dropped wasn't just expensive, it was perfectly timed. The $100,000 engagement ring, that landed right when his college career peaked. The wedding gifts, those came right after his Heisman win and NFL draft selection. And the multi-million-dollar mansion, bought immediately after he signed his first pro contract. The pattern is hard to ignore. The bigger his bank account grew, the more extravagant her rewards became. Now, yes, Leanna did give Travis a few things back, like a custom Rolex somewhere between $30,000 and $70,000. But compared to a $600,000 Mercedes and a $500,000 truck, that's like bringing a water gun to a house fire. And critics say those gifts weren't even truly hers to give, since they were allegedly funded by Travis's own money. Instead of being heartfelt tokens, they look more like calculated plays to create the illusion of balance in the relationship. And here's the real danger. The spending spree we've already seen might just be the beginning. Under Florida's brutal equitable distribution laws, everything earned during the marriage, NFL salary, endorsement deals, even business income, could all be up for grabs in a split. Translation: Travis hasn't just risked the millions he's already spent, he might have put his entire future fortune on the line too. When you're holding down a contract worth nearly $47 million, not even counting the endorsement deals that could easily double or triple that, the stakes couldn't be higher. At just 22 years old, Travis Hunter is standing at the very start of what could be one of the most lucrative NFL careers in recent history. And yet, every decision he makes right now, especially around money and protection, will either build his empire or tear it apart. That's why financial experts all across the sports world are sounding alarms. The fact that he jumped into marriage with no prenup, no guardrails at this critical stage of his career has already turned his story into a cautionary tale. Advisors are literally using his name in meetings as the prime example of what not to do. And here's where it gets even trickier. Unlike most celebrity couples who keep their wallets hidden, Travis and Leanna have basically aired their entire financial playbook on social media. The endless videos of surprise cars, diamond unboxings, and luxury shopping trips don't just spark gossip. They create a permanent record. Lawyers are already saying these posts could be pulled into court one day as proof of how lopsided the money flow really was. So here's the cold truth. That so-called $4.5 million mistake is only the tip of the iceberg. The scarier part is what lies ahead. We're talking about a man who could potentially lose half of everything he'll ever earn, And the story of how it all started is where the red flags start flashing like crazy. Because this relationship, it didn't start as some Cinderella love story. It started with a move that critics now call the first red flag in a long line of warning signs. Back in 2022, while Travis was still in high school in Georgia, he shot his shot with Leanna on Instagram. And what happened? She straight up ignored his DMs for months. The plot twist? According to Travis himself, it wasn't romance that made her finally reply. It was her brother's intervention. In a podcast clip from December 2024, Travis admitted that her brother, who later became one of his close friends, told her, "You don't know who this is." That one line flipped the switch, and suddenly, Leanna was interested. And that little detail has fueled years of speculation about whether she ever wanted Travis, or if she just wanted the star athlete she realized he was becoming. He's a good, weak man. That's the phrase critics keep throwing around. And this detail matters because it sets the stage for a pattern that never seemed to stop. From the jump, Leanna's interest looked like it moved in sync with Travis Hunter's rising profile and swelling bank account. People online have dragged this story for years as proof of alleged opportunism, even claiming her whole family saw Travis's fame as a payday waiting to happen. And the red flags didn't end with the ignored DMs. As Travis's college career at Colorado skyrocketed, the spotlight on Leanna got hotter, and the mess started spilling everywhere. By late 2024, just as Travis hit the peak of his college dominance, she was slammed with cheating accusations that went viral in the worst way. We're talking photos and videos surfacing that supposedly showed her out at parties with other men, while Travis was literally waiting outside. These weren't just whispers or vague rumors. The receipts came in the form of videos and pics, some showing her dancing on other dudes, and others even more intimate, allegedly in bed with them. The internet went crazy, and what made it even worse was how perfectly timed all of it was. Right as Travis was climbing to stardom, these bombshells dropped like clockwork. But here's the most twisted part. One of the men behind those photos admitted he waited until Travis was famous before releasing them, just to cash in. He even tried to sell merchandise featuring those scandalous images, turning Hunter's personal heartbreak into a full-on business move. That shows this wasn't just drama. It was calculated exploitation, with people lining up to profit off Travis's pain. And the damage? It wasn't hidden. The emotional toll on Travis was raw, public, and impossible to ignore, leaving fans wondering if the people closest to him were actually rooting for his downfall the whole time. The attacks on Leanna's character eventually pushed her into some dark moments, with Travis himself admitting that she drank an OD amount one night, crying herself to sleep, and leaving him saying, "I can't even help her." Instead of stepping back and questioning the chaos, Travis doubled down, defending her through it all. To many, it was proof of just how deep her psychological grip on him really was. Then came the 2024 Heisman Trophy ceremony, a night that should have been nothing but celebration. But the spotlight shifted when a viral clip showed Leanna sitting stone-faced as Travis's name was called. While the entire room stood to applaud his historic achievement, she stayed in her seat until Coach Deion Sanders literally nudged her to get up. To critics, that single moment exposed everything. She didn't look proud, she looked resentful. Social media had a field day. DJ Academics broke down the video frame by frame, analyzing Travis's body language and Leanna's cold reaction. His take? The relationship dynamics screamed imbalance, with Travis pouring his soul and wallet into someone who seemed disconnected from his success. And Academics wasn't alone. Thousands of fans echoed the same suspicion. Was she really in this for love or for the lifestyle? But the Heisman clip was just one piece of a bigger puzzle, and the timeline makes it impossible to ignore. Every major milestone in Travis's career lined up with a new, expensive relationship move. The engagement in February 2024 hit just as his draft stock soared. The wedding was locked in for May 2025, conveniently timed right after his draft selection and just before that monster contract signing. And each milestone was followed by over-the-top gifts, almost like clockwork. This wasn't coincidence. It looked like strategy. Critics argue that by locking in marriage at the exact point his earnings were about to skyrocket, Liana secured legal claims to his fortune before he had a chance to rethink things or protect himself. And the fact that Travis ignored widespread advice to sign a prenup, many believe that wasn't just his mistake. It was because she actively discouraged him from seeking legal counsel, ensuring the door to his millions stayed wide open. The red flags didn't just stop at Travis and Liana's relationship. They spilled right into her family, too. Critics say her brother wasn't just a side character. He was the key player who connected them in the first place. And as Travis's wealth ballooned, her family seemed to circle closer and closer around him, like they were all part of the same game plan. To many, this didn't look like romance. It looked like a coordinated strategy to secure a millionaire. The public wasn't blind to it either. Reactions came quick and loud. Even celebs got in on the conversation. Bow Wow flat out called Liana a gold digger, while rappers Cameron and Mahe clowned Travis on their podcast, warning that marrying without a prenup was basically begging for disaster. And let's not forget Coach Deion Sanders himself. The same man who mentored Travis had already gone on record warning young players about gold diggers in general. But when it came to his own fiancée, Travis brushed it all aside. And his defense? Travis told critics, "She brings value to me. She makes me money, and she makes her own money. So if you're going to say she's a gold digger, make sure you say I'm a gold digger too." That line might have sounded romantic to him, but to outsiders, it showed how blind he was to the actual issue, the power imbalance, and the mountain of financial risk he was carrying alone. Liana tried to fight back against the hate too. In a December 2024 video, she denied being a gold digger and claimed she deleted her socials because the harassment was too much. But critics weren't buying it. Her statements felt more like PR spin than genuine explanations, sidestepping the real concerns about money, timing, and control. Then came the wedding, and that's where the whispers turned into shouts. Held at the barn at Faith Farms in Athens, Tennessee, with 250 guests in attendance, the ceremony wasn't remembered for romance. It was remembered for excess. The wedding gifts alone totaled over $1 million, transforming what should have been a love story into a luxury showcase. To many watching, it felt less like vows of commitment and more like a financial flex that exposed exactly where the priorities lay. The draft should have been Travis Hunter's golden ticket, but instead it came wrapped in drama. His 4-year, $46.65 million rookie deal, with a jaw-dropping $30.6 million signing bonus, was supposed to set him and his family up for life. But because Travis said "I do" just weeks after the draft, and did it without a prenup, that entire fortune was instantly on shaky ground. At his Jaguars introductory press conference, Travis looked every bit the excited rookie, smiling, talking about his academic grind, even flexing his 4.0 GPA like proof of his discipline. When reporters asked him about facing himself on both sides of the ball, he didn't hesitate, firing back with a confident answer that showed why he was such a hyped two-way prospect in the first place. His swagger was undeniable. Even the Jaguars coaching staff had high hopes. Head coach Liam Cohen praised Hunter's rare skill set, explaining, "We've had those conversations, and we have to be fluid. We kind of mentioned this last night. From a scheduling standpoint, we have it laid, but we also have to be agile and be fluid on specific days." Translation: they believed Travis could be a star on both ends of the field, and they were ready to adapt everything around him. But behind the scenes, the cracks were showing. Reports started leaking that the weight of his relationship drama was bleeding into football. Coaches whispered about him being distracted. Teammates worried if he could handle the pressure. All eyes locked on his preseason debut against the Pittsburgh Steelers on August 9, 2025, at Everbank Stadium in Jacksonville. And what happened? Travis played 18 to 19 snaps, split between offense and defense, flashing his raw talent, but also looking like a man trying to juggle 2 games at once, football and his messy personal life. The performance wasn't a disaster, but it wasn't the explosion fans expected either. It was the perfect snapshot of where he stood, gifted beyond belief, but weighed down by everything swirling around him off the field. So now, The real question isn't just whether Travis Hunter can handle the NFL grind. It's whether he can survive the circus outside of it. What do you think? Is this young star in control of his future, or already trapped in a situation that could derail everything? Drop your thoughts below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you in the next one.